Hello, beautiful people. We are in Greece right now, in Naxos, the island known to be the place where Zeus spent most of his childhood. This cave is around, think about 600 meters high in the top highest mountain of the Cyclades Islands. Zeus was born technically in the island of Crete, down south, but he was later transferred by the eagle to this cave where he spent his childhood in asylum from his father Cronus. Cronus was obsessed about not being overthrown since he had overthrown his father, and his father, they casted a prophecy on him saying that he would be overthrown by one of his children. So he obsessively started to eat his own children one by one. Mother Rhea, in desperation, put a stone on the cloth of the baby and gave that to Cronus to eat, and gave the baby to an eagle to be taken away to a cave in Crete, later then transferred in here. Zeus, in Greek mythology, represents Jupiter. And wouldn't it be fitting for us to be here right now and do a video about Jupiter? The sun that overrules the father, that spark in us that wants to do different from our parents. And that little inner voice that tells us that we are capable of doing things, even though we are going to do them differently than we are taught, whether it be in the household, by our employee, or just in school, by our teachers, or any other form of hierarchy that tries to promote rules and laws and morality over us. We just say, I have a better idea. I would do it this way. That is the invitation that Jupiter promotes on your birth chart. And this whole dynamic that we see on this story of father being obsessed about being overthrown by child, how many of us feel that our parents might have been a bit coercive or demanding on who we are supposed to become and how we are supposed to be when we grow up? He grew up on this island, away from everything, hiding in a cave that is as solitary as you can feel inside, even though it's very meditative. I should say by now that it is an ancient practice it's very ancient, the practice of so many peoples around the world to go in dark sort of meditative mode, in dark therapy, to reach the awareness of Jupiter, really. Because Jupiter is a planet that we link with two energies, either Sagittarius, which is more Zeus-linked, so to say, more ninth house, extroverted, out there. We see Sagittarius people being very, out in the open. But Jupiter is also linked to Pisces in the 12th house, the house of your inner silence, the house where you connect with the divine, the universe, the higher frequencies and the higher messages that your human body can't understand. Your spirit translates, but it's the only language that actually your soul speaks. So by doing the practice of living in sort of inner silence, and the practice of living in inner shadows constantly because he was trapped in a cave, we can understand that this God, who is brought out of a tyrant, is being brought not to become one, because he's being kept away from everybody. The fear of being confined, the fear of coming to the door and being spotted by his father or any other creature that we may describe in mythology was so big that he basically stood inside all the time. He drank so much fear out of this living that he became fearless. He felt so much fear on his existence that he became fearless. I find beautiful to connect the mythology basis, to bring to you the awareness that the ancient peoples had. Because we see mythology as something that was like just a story or a fairy tale, when in truth, it's trying to explain the dynamics in between the planets that are, in fact, the dynamics of the various parts of our personality and how everything plays along and plays together in this beautiful game that is life. And so Zeus grows up, and the time comes to defeat his father. The Cyclops are on his side and provide them with a thunderbolt. So basically against the power of weather, so to say. He's able to create rain, he's able to create stores, and therefore later becomes the god of agriculture. And the humble upbringing of being taught and fed by a goat on a cave and taught by an eagle about the outside world makes him very humble and very open to everything that is around us, very connected to nature. My favorite story of the myth is when Zeus decides to leave the cave. And that's my favorite because if we look into our lives, there is always going to be Jupiter, the sense of our personality that knows what we're here to do. How will I contribute to the world? It's one of the human needs. It's one of the most important human needs. How will I contribute to the world? How will I provide to mankind? What do I have? What are the gifts that I have that I can give to the people and put it out that only I can do? This is a very strong awareness, and it resides on your Jupiter, on your birth chart. It resides on the sign where it is, on the degree that it is, on the house that it is, and on the aspects that it has. But that feeling is very inner, and it's conflicted with the second social planet, that is Cronus, Saturn, that says, you can't go there. There are rules. There are laws. You can't do this in this timing. You can't do this on this scenario. You can't do this on this environment. You can't do that to that person. And we start to feel so limited in how we would expand our consciousness and our capabilities and our gifts to the world that we just go back to the cave. Zeus liberated himself by sitting in there long enough to say, I'm done with this. I'm done with the fear. I'm always going to be afraid. I'm never going to be ready. I've never even met a human, and this is already like my own storytelling of the myth. I've never met a human. I have no idea what human life is all about, only in theory, by an eagle who is not human either. So I just want to go out and fulfill all the stories and complete and conclude all the stories that this eagle is bringing to me. I want to go and liberate my brothers and provide for mankind, which is what his father Cronus wasn't doing. Saturn is a planet that makes us sometimes a bit arrogant. We become so obsessed with etiquette, we become so obsessed with protocol, with how things should be done, that we forget that sometimes we just need to do them. We're never going to be ready for them. We just need to feel what it is in our gut and go outside. Jupiter is a planet that develops from the outside. And again, we look at Sagittarius people and they're very much like that. And we look at Piscean people and they're very much like that. One, Sagittarius in a very outward manner, and Pisces in a very inward manner. Pisces develop themselves from the outside by connecting to the divine, by connecting to a higher entity, to the creator of the cosmos. They can find that through religion, spiritual practice, whatever. Just deep meditation, going within, listening to the inner silence. The truth is, they will decide themselves from the environment that surrounds them. Sagittarius is the same, but they put it out there. We'll never know what's on a Pisces mind. But we know what's on a Sagittarius mind. We know what they need. We know how they develop. We know what they're all about. We know what they want to do. Because they're very outward about it. Should we do this? Should we go there? Come on, let's create this situation. Let's go for the experience. Why not? It's the classical why not. And that's what Jupiter invites you to do. Whenever the want comes, the will comes of, damn, I'm so good at doing this. Why can't I go on and do it? Because then all the Saturn voices in your head of your father, of your mother, of your teacher, of your partner, of your neighbors, of your friends, of your whatever, all the Saturns come in, when all the confining voices come into your head, all these Saturn confining voices come, just put these two words. Why not? If you regret it, you come back and do differently. That's the point. Saturn is so demanding that it makes us see the world in only black and white. And the black and white is basically, you either do it well, at first, like perfect, or there's no point in doing it at all. Jupiter is like, the point is doing, not really thriving so much with it. I am thriving just by trying out. I'm thriving just by experimenting and going from there. Because I experiment first and then I see, oh, I can make a few tweaks here and there. I can make a few arrangements here and there. I can better this situation, this product, this experience, this relationship, whatever it is. Jupiter is everything and anything in us that we feel is beyond expression. It's where we are festive. It's where we are kind of life party animals. Let me get deep into that. Let me get deeper into that. Party animals in the sense of we go to things like in full, like on mode, you know? We don't just, half-ass it or just, oh, maybe yeah, maybe not. That's very Saturn-like. And that's also okay. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about the fact that sometimes we need to take that big fucking leap of faith. Moving forward, taking that massive step, and then seeing, okay, how do I feel about this? I feel proud. I feel capable. I've proved I was capable. All right. So I guess I can believe myself. Because ultimately, Jupiter is the third fire, is the third address of your personality. You first in Aries, in Mars, understand that you are capable of things. You try out things. In Leo, you refine those things to the things you want to do. When you get to Sagittarius and Jupiter, you already proved physical capability and mental ability. You already proved and kind of filtered the things you absolutely want to do. You just now need to take that big leap and that big step and just trying them out. Putting them outside in the world. And that is self-faith. Jupiter is the planet that deals with our faith. Faith, in this case, is in yourself. Believing in yourself. Knowing so deeply that you can do it. Sagittarius will do this openly and publicly. Oh, come on, I will do this, I will do that, I want to go this way. And as I said, I think it's starting to rain. And Pisces will do this in an inward way. They will feel the self-belief. They will feel connected to the divine and say, I believe I can do this. I trust, I believe, I have faith in this thing I see, in this vision that I have of myself. And they go forward. They probably won't share this with everyone. You'll just see them going on about. One Jupiter is inward in Pisces, and the other is outward in Sagittarius. But deep down, they all talk about the same thing. What are the steps that you have to take to believe in yourself today? What are the steps that you have to take to get out of the self-confinement? How do you get out of the self-confinement? Saturn will always be there confining, just like the cave. He was hiding from his father inside a cave. How beautifully metaphorical is that? He just kept himself locked in darkness, waiting for the moment for him to avenge his brothers and rule mankind in a different way because he had different beliefs of his father. Where have we heard this story? How many times have we heard this story? How many of us have dealt with this? Our parents telling us what to do, how to do, what career to pick, what girlfriend to choose, what house to go for, what car, whatever. Just making decisions because they want to shape us as a perfect creation. That is very natural of parents to do. And us, when we parent, we're going to do probably the same things. Children are a creation. We want our creations to be perfect. We want to be better versions than what we were. But there has to be a freedom aspect in this. Otherwise, There's no Jupiter involved. And in this epoch of your life, in this journey, all you have to do is understand that they will always conflict and confine in any way. That's the parent's job. And you need to die to those expectations, so that finally, who you are is higher and more important. Who you believe in is not a version of yourself that is in your parents, but a version of yourself that you want to fight for. And that is the proposed challenge of Jupiter. That is the path you have to pursue. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was one of the probably most complicated videos for me, since it's something that's very deep in my heart. And do let me know in the comment section what you think about it, and how was it for you to find some connections and, make the bridge in between what this means to your personal life and how this links to your experience with your own self-faith, as it were, and your own self-belief. I do hope this video inspires you to get out of your cave, just like Zeus did. I'll see you on the next video then. Until then, stay light, stay golden.